We are one people, we are one family, we are one house, we all live in the same house. So I said to you, my brothers and sisters, we cannot give up. We cannot give out. We cannot give in. We must get out there and push and pull.
Words John Lewis lived by throughout his 8 decades walking and struggling on this earth. A leader who commanded widespread respect over his more than 30 years serving as a legislator in Washington, where he was called the conscience of the U.S. Congress.
This big picture of John Lewis was just put up here, rest in power, it says. You can't see from the TV, but over here in the front row is a big bouquet of white flowers. It's in a place where John usually sat, in the front row of a section that many of the members of the Congressional Black Caucus held forth, conspired sometimes, plotted and made progress for the American people. It's appropriate that we have those flowers there where John sat for so many years.
The U.S. Embassy in South Africa shared this undated picture of Lewis meeting former President Nelson Mandela, the Congressman dying a day before what would have been Madiba's 102nd birthday.
John Lewis spent his life fighting injustice and racism. If it weren't for the bravery of John and men and women like him, many of us wouldn't be in this chamber today. And as a black man, I'm not sure I would have had the same rights as my fellow countrymen.
Flags were ordered flown at half-staff at federal buildings by President Donald Trump, who expressed sadness at the congressman's passing. Lewis famously questioned Trump's legitimacy after his election in 2016 by refusing to attend his inauguration. Former President Barack Obama, who awarded Lewis the Presidential Medal of Freedom in 2011, wrote in a tribute that the Atlanta congressman not only gave all of himself to the cause of freedom and justice, but inspired generations that followed to try to live up to his example.
John Robert Lewis, Dr. King said, "Are you the boy from Troy?" He loved to tell that story. He loved to tell that he preached to the chickens, but his voices were heard by kings and queens. John Robert Lewis, a saint walking on earth.
These iconic images of the former president walking hand in hand with Lewis across the Edmund Pettus Bridge in Selma, Alabama in 2015 to mark the 50th anniversary of the Bloody Sunday March for Voting Rights in 1965, where Lewis suffered a fractured skull at the brutal hands of state troopers, now prompting calls for the bridge to be renamed in his honor.
Rename that bridge and repaint it, redecorate it, the John R. Lewis Bridge. I believe that will give the people of Selma something to rally around. I believe that will make a statement for people in this country that we do believe in that pledge, that vision of this country that's in the last phrase of the pledge, with liberty and justice for all.
President Cyril Ramaphosa acknowledged Lewis as a global icon in the fight for human rights and equality, who maintained a global perspective in the fight against racism, including in South Africa.
We have made some progress. We've come a distance, but we still have a distance to go. We still have roads to travel.
Lewis's family expected to release further details of memorial arrangements, including a procession through the nation's capital. Sherwin Bryce-Pease, SABC News.